Hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for October 24th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 298. I am Mayor Watt, and Sentient AI is not available at the moment, but we're going to be talking about humans continue to be the weakest link, Ava Longoria saved John Wick, Halloween candy found with red dye number 3, stranger in the casket, that duct tape banana auction, how... $1 million apparently. Semi-solid state batteries make Dodge Chargers ironic. Iceland's foods trademark. Bug bounty for Apple Intelligence. No onions due to E. coli outbreak. And trove of coins from the Norman conquest have been found. That and maybe some humor. All right, everybody. I am Mayor Watt, and the Sentient AI and the Visualizer. Well, the Visualizer's there, but the Sentient AI is on location, off on assignment, trying to find their Terminator body, charging something. So let's get into today's articles. The very first one's over in Reality Hacker. I'm going to do this really quick. This is a time machine episode, and I normally rip through these really quick so I can get the news out to you and then post it over on YouTube as part of the playlist because live doesn't play well with the playlists. Anyway, we'll just keep going. Simple password mistake led to 5.3 million leaked health records. That's why I labeled this humans continue to be the weakest link. An unprotected Mexican healthcare database left unprotected leads to 5.3 million users with their data stolen and exposed to identity theft and more. And you'd think of all the places that would use protection, health-related information would use protection, but apparently not. Judy Sands over at digitaltrends.com put the article together. They already have an update on this. It was actually posted and then updated from the 23rd to the 24th. A representative from eCaresoft reached out to Digital Trends and claimed that the initial cyber news report had some inaccurate information in it. The first sticking point from eCaresoft was that the affected server was a non-production environment containing anonymized, randomly generated test data, not real patient data. Then it says if that's true, there was no actual risk of exposed patient data. eCaresoft also claims that the reported number of records exceeds the total number of records we have in our system at this time. But the published report, they reached out to Digital Trends, but Cyber News apparently is the reporting location. So Cyber News reports that let me see something here. Yeah, cybernews.com reports that its research teams found a 500 gigabyte unprotected database of a Mexican healthcare company on August 26, 2024. And it's saying, they're saying that it contained sensitive information such as names, personal identification numbers, whatever CURP, I guess, phone numbers, descriptions of payment requests, and so on. Total number of affected people adds up to 5.3 million, making it 4% of the country's population, according to this. It was misconfigured use of data visualization tool called Kibana, which, if it's completely random generated stuff, then yeah. But if it is supposed to be an idealized development or live service data set, it should never have been misconfigured to begin with. But it says indicates that the security mistake occurred with a misconfigured use of a data visualization tool called Kibana. More than 30,000 doctors, 65. It says here in this system that the massive volume of data was later credited to eCaresoft, a Texas-based software company behind cloud-based hospital information systems such as Anytime and Cirrus. More than 30,000 doctors, 65 hospitals, 110 outpatient care centers use eCaresoft services to manage tasks such as appointment booking, medicine management, inventory management, and more. So PII, hopefully, again, they said that it was basically random information, not legitimate information. All right. I guess maybe this is nothing, right? Let's hope. I guess we'll find out maybe in a year or so, maybe less, when people start reporting that they had their identity stolen. We'll have to wait and see. This next article, though, is over in the Continuity Report. Ava Longoria gave John Wick $6 million in funding and saved the movie less than 24 hours before it would have shut down. She came to the rescue, is what's quoted here. The first John Wick movie opened in theaters 10 years ago and launched another iconic franchise for Keanu Reeves that has since gone on to gross $1 billion worldwide across 4 movies. But it turns out none of that success would have been possible if it had not been for Ava Longoria. Zach Scharf over at Variety.com put the article together. Yeah, quite intriguing here, huh? Speaking to Business Insider directors Chad Stahelski, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch remembered Longoria putting up $6 million with less than 24 hours to go before filming in order to close an unexpected gap in the film's funding. Yeah, less than a week out, lost almost $6 million in gap funding. Stahelski said, we were financing independently to get the bond, but one of the investors couldn't raise the money in time. Fascinating. So Ava came to the rescue and she provided the gap financing literally less than 24 hours before we had to lock the doors on the movie and walk away. Basil took us out for dinner after filming and we were laughing about all the bullshit that happened. And he said, by the way, funny story, you know who gap financed you? Ava Longoria. There's more, by the way, over at these articles. So be sure to follow the links that are in the show notes. To get them, if you're in the chat over on YouTube doesn't like ohmTown. It punts the bot periodically. So, particularly after the live shows. So anyway, the command in the chat over on twitch.tv is !NSN. Just type that in and the bot ohmTown will throw the links into the chat. You follow those links, they take you to ohmTown, and from there you can go to the source. Of course, you can always just go to the source by doing a search, but let's keep moving. The next article is over in the Marble channel. Candy corn and other Halloween candy found to contain cancer-causing red dye number 3. Some Halloween candy may have more adverse effects than an upset tummy. On Thursday, Consumer Reports announced that they found several festive treats that contain red dye 3. Among the affected candies are Bratches, or I think it's is it Brax? Brax. Candy corn, autumn mix, mellow cream pumpkins. Also impacted are double bubble bubble gum. I just like saying double bubble bubble gum. Nerds candy corn, Pez candy, Amos lollipop rings, and Create a Treat Halloween House cookie kits. Well, that sucks. Synthetic dye is made from petroleum and gives products a bright red color. It's been shown to cause cancer in animals. Some studies also link red dye 3 and similar substances to hyperactivity and other ailments. Paige Golly over at Vice.com put this article together. Yeah, so the deck statement says Consumer Reports found red dye number 3 in several festive treats, including candy corn cookie kits and, well, candy corn, cookie kits, and bubble gum. And like the other articles, there is more of this. Red dye number 3, by the way, is banned in cosmetics after it was found to have cancer-causing elements in animals. So it's still allowed in food, apparently. So it's time for the FDA to protect the public and get this toxic dye out of the food we eat. I mean, if we've banned it in cosmetics, why the frick would we have it in our food? It's asinine. All right. Yeah, let's keep going. This next article is over on the Mobile channel. We found a stranger in our dad's casket, and the funeral home tried to convince them that they were wrong. This is the oddest sentence I thought I'd ever say out loud, but here we are. Before passing away at age 81, this person selected Boyd Funeral Home in Camden to host their services. When the family arrived before the public services, they realized that it was not Jenkins, the body, in the casket that it should have been. Now the family is demanding justice. So the plaintiffs approached the casket, supposedly holding Addison, and immediately became distressed and angered when they saw another unrecognizable person dressed in Addison's clothes and belongings. The article is over at vice.com. Sammy Caramella put the article together. Yeah, that's interesting. To make matters worse, both the funeral home director and the makeup artist insisted that they used the right body and that the director texting photos as proof, according to the lawsuit. When the family compared their loved one's features to that of the body in the casket, they quickly identified differences. For one thing, they said Jenkins had medical conditions that would have been evidence had it been the right one. Still, the funeral home workers allegedly argued with the grieving family about the accuracy of their claims. So the family is alleging negligent infliction of emotional distress and mishandling of human remains, and they're seeking compensation and punitive damages according to the suit. So do they have proof that this is not the same person that was supposed to be, and just a makeup artist and funeral home was really good at, making this person look, I guess, entirely different than how they were naturally? I mean, death tends to change a person, right? So this involved a funeral home and a casket, and we're too close to Halloween for me not to pass this up. But wow, this blows me away that they would. And then if it isn't the right body, then they're gaslighting them because they kept saying, apparently, no, that's the person. Wild. Let's keep going. I won't be able to show you this one because it's behind a hard paywall for me, probably not for you. You'll be able to go and check it out. So Maurizio Catalan's famous duct tape banana could sell for more than $1 million at auction. Apparently, it says that this is one of the most viral and controversial works of art in the past decade. It's titled Comedian. It's from 2019. But if you remember, there was a banana duct tape to an art piece, and apparently somebody walked over to a wall, and then somebody came over and ate it, I guess. And I'm not quite sure about all of this, but it's behind a paywall over at theartnewspaper.com, and sometimes I can read things and sometimes I can't. When I follow this over, I don't log into the accounts, but anyway, but you'll be able to go there and check it out. But I'm going to move on really quick. So the next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Dodge Chargers with semi-solid state batteries may hit the road in 2026, making Dodge Chargers quite an ironic, or more apropos, I should say, I guess. But it's ironic that these ICE engines are now, or ICE vehicles are now not ICE. They're becoming, yeah. See, I should have used. So Oscar Holding actually has Oscar Holland over at CNN has an article as well about the duct tape banana. So yeah, I don't know how the banana how it's still around, right? So it says that the artwork has 3 editions, is going back on sale, this time with an estimated price of $1 million to $1.5 million. The winning bidder will receive a roll of duct tape and 1 banana, as well as a certificate of authenticity and official instructions for installing the work. Sotheby's confirmed to CNN that neither the tape nor, thankfully, the banana are the originals, right? So Comedian is a conceptual artwork with the actual physical materials are replaced with every installation, an auction spokesperson said via email. So for your $1 to $1.5 million, you'll get a roll of duct tape and a banana, because that's so funny. And get it, Comedian? Yeah. All right. So, okay, back to the Dodge Chargers with semi solid state batteries. So Stellantis says that it will put a demonstration fleet of Dodge Charger Daytonas on the road by 2026, equipped with solid state battery technology that's lighter, more energy dense, and could eventually make for cheaper EVs. The company calls the demo fleet a key next step toward making solid state EVs where you can actually buy. Well, batteries power EVs now. The problem isn't so much the batteries, but it's the fact that it takes 6 to 8 hours to reach 100% charge. That's the biggest beef with everybody. Instead of taking 5 minutes like it takes to fill up an ICE vehicle, you have to sit around. You sit around in your car. You have to go in. I guess you're stimulating the economy. Is that the side effect of my hand is really huge because of perspective of the camera? Anyway, you have to sit around. I mean, nobody has time for this crap. You got things to do. You want something really expensive, then enforce this policy where society gets used to sitting around for hours throughout the day charging their vehicle to get from point A to point B. It's ridiculous, absolutely stunningly stupid that we've actually gone down this road, literally down this road. So, and don't get me started, people, with this idea that, well, you don't own an EV, so you don't really know. Yes, I do. Actually, I don't own an EV, but I know very well that countless people have range anxiety because they have purchased an EV and have to sit around, and they never know if the EV bank that they stop at is going to actually, if the charging stations are actually functional, and how long they have to sit around just to get to 80%. And it's already been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that batteries lose their charge capacity year over year over year. And then after 5 or 10 years, they become basically lumps where you have to get a whole new battery pack, depending on how often they're charged and recharged and the weather and so on, quality of the battery equipment or the material for the battery, etc. Yeah, there's warranties and all of that kind of stuff, but sell your vehicle to somebody and find out how willing they are, unless that's a really deep discount. Nobody wants to buy a used battery, essentially. And if they do, it's because they have some type of inside track on getting a hell of a deal on an EV. Not everybody is a freaking engineer, electrical engineer. Anyway, so the article is actually over at theverge.com. Stellantis says it will demo solid-state battery tech in a fleet of Dodge Chargers. So I guess you're not going to get one because this is a demonstration fleet. Wes Davis over at theverge.com put the article together. So the cars will be built on STLA large EV platform, which is meant to underpin more than just the Chargers it's demoing next year. If it's successful, there's a chance the cars from brands like Maserati and Jeep will get the new battery tech too. Maserati and Jeep both have these issues with them, not EV battery issues, but there's a lot of technical problems, recalls, things like that. When you hear people complaining about a Jeep and Maserati nowadays, apparently there's quality issues. There's probably a reason Stellantis said solid state battery technology rather than simply solid state batteries. That's because these chargers will use semi-solid state batteries, which means that they're still made with liquid electrolytes as well. That hybrid approach Carries benefits like lighter weight and more range, but doesn't totally obviate the fire risk of traditional lithium batteries. Factorial, which makes the batteries Stellantis will use, claims its semi-solid state tech could push EV range by up as much as 50% versus today's electric vehicles. And the batteries have drop-in compatibility with existing lithium-ion battery manufacturing infrastructure, which makes them cheaper and easier to produce than switching to full solid-state tech. All right. Hyundai is a Factorial investor, and so is Mercedes. And they're going to try and get them on the road by 2026. All right. Well, good luck. We'll see. In China, IM Motor launched the L6, a semi-solid-state battery-driven EV, in April, while its sister brand MG announced it will unveil one in Europe next year. MG is owned by a Chinese company? Am I reading that right? Or is the inference incorrect? Okay, so I need to find out where these companies are, I suppose, because one says that it's in China, and the other one says its sister brand is in Europe. So where is the parent of these two companies? All right, let's keep going though. Iceland Foods is still battling to trademark its canceled Iceland trademark in the EU. This article is over. It's been categorized by the bot in. So yeah, they are Chinese owned. Okay. Thank you. The Sentient AI by proxy. So this article is over in Non Sequitur News. That's where ohmTown put it. And it says when SAIC Motor. Okay. Thanks. So Iceland Foods is still battling its trademark. When it comes to comedy, there's a principle that a physical gag will be funny if done 3 times. But then will stop being funny on any further attempts unless it reaches a much higher number like 9. To see this in action, you need to only look at this clip of the classic gag of Sideshow Bob stepping on rakes in The Simpsons. We won't watch it, but it is a full-on video posted on YouTube. So the This Again department is where Timothy Gaynor put the article for techdirt.com. And so it says here, well, Iceland petitioned for removal of the Iceland Foods mark, and it won. Another rake to Iceland Foods' face. Rather than slink away, the grocer decided to step on another rake by appealing the ruling to the Grand Board of the EU IPO. That same Grand Board denied the appeal, another rake to the face. What this is all about is, well, the UK grocer is again appealing the cancellation of its previous trademark for the term Iceland. They want to trademark the term Iceland, the name of a country, like trying to trademark the name France. Well, first off, names can't get trademarked like that. Like, if it's just a general term, a generic term, you're not going to be able to get a trademark. Like, you're not going to get a trademark on cheese, right? It's a category. And it's very generic. And no one has claimed to being able to trademark the use of a country's name. So rather than slink away, they try to appeal the appeal. And you would think at this point, Iceland Foods would just trademark Iceland Foods, damn it. You're not going to get away with anything else. And even that might not, I mean, there's a lot of Iceland Foods. If I can't use that term, that phrase, then I think there's going to be a problem. Anyway, Iceland Foods would have had enough losing legal fees, the embarrassment of continuing to fight over the stupid lost trademark against a sovereign nation. But nope, Sideshow Bob of grocery stores decided that it was at least going to try one more rake out there. Oh, look, it's like a field of rakes in deep grass, and they're going to step on every single one of them. Executive Chairman Richard Walker, OBE, apparently, appeared at the General Court of the European Union in Luxembourg on October 16th to provide opening statements in the supermarket's appeal. This marks the third round of legal proceedings in an 8-year battle over the use of the word Iceland for marketing products in the EU. You're out of your mind. So we've traded under the Iceland name in the UK since 1970, and today we are one of the UK's most recognized brands with 1,000 shops, 5 million customers a week, and a growing international presence in more than 65 countries, including many in the EU and EEA. But hold on a second. I need to look this up. I just want to see. So they literally go by Iceland, not Iceland Foods. They trade under the name Iceland. Yeah. I suspect it's since 2005, though. They were Iceland Frozen Foods PLC and then Iceland Foods PLC. So Iceland Frozen Foods from 1973 to 2000, and then Iceland Foods PLC from 2000 to 2005, 5 period. And but still, I think the biggest problem here is that you're not going to be able to trade. You shouldn't actually, and this is kind of a slow crawl. This should have been known as like Iceland stores or Iceland food stores or something like that. It should never have been just Iceland, unless the implication was that that's where you go to get ice, right? Like Iceland is like Spatula City. It could be one word if you stick it together, but it's actually 2 words. And conceptually it's 2 words. So it says, "Dear Lord, stop. Nothing in this, nothing in the above has anything to do with the trademark in question. The company can still trade under its business name. It can still have specific trademarks, such as one of the whole of its name, like Iceland Foods, and it can still do business internationally. What it can't do any longer is bully the shit out of anyone else who wants to use the name in an entire country in their names or marketing material, including, the country of Iceland, which Walker's company tried to keep from using its own damned name." So the retailer says that the retailer maintains that its name refers to the land of ice. Oh, that's funny. That's my implication there, is that, okay, so put a space in it. It's ice space land. So Iceland, the name of the country, can be used in whatever efforts it decides to use. So it says, "Oh, shut up." That is both completely immaterial to the entire debacle and not remotely believable. So this Timothy Geithner is like my spirit animal out there. Okay, let's keep going. So don't want to take too long. I want to run through all of these articles so that we can turn off the time machine and do tonight's episode, or tomorrow's episode tonight, because we're in the time machine. Anyway, so this was actually submitted yesterday, and then another one today on the 25th. Again, because I'm in the time machine. Apple Intelligence Bug Bounty invites researchers to test its privacy claims. Apple is inviting investigations into the private cloud compute, or PCC, system that powers more computationally intensive Apple Intelligence requests. The company is expanding its bug bounty program to offer payouts of up to $1 million for people who discover PCC vulnerabilities. The company has boasted about how many AI features branded as Apple Intelligence will run on device without leaving your Mac, iPhone, or other Apple hardware. Still, for more difficult requests, it will send them to PCC servers that are built using Apple Silicon and a new operating system. My problem with this right off the bat is that I want to know what it is, when it is sending information offsite. off device. I don't like the idea of this just happening whenever because it just works. That's fine. But I want to know when it's working on it like that. Jay Peters over at TheVerge.com put the article together. And it's $1 million now. So if you are looking to score really big, then get yourself an Apple Intelligence device. The new iPad Mini actually has, it says that it's built now for Apple Intelligence because it has the A17 chip. So for researchers, Apple is offering a security guide that spells out the technical details of the PCC, a virtual research environment that lets you do a security analysis of PCC on your Mac, though you'll need to have a Mac with Apple Silicon and 16 gigs of memory and be running the latest Mac OS Sequoia 15.1 developer preview, source code on GitHub for certain key components of PCC that help to implement its security and privacy requirements. So with the bug bounty, Apple is offering payouts from $50,000 to $1 million for vulnerabilities discovered across a few different categories. Apple will also evaluate any security issue for a potential reward that has a significant impact to PCC. So good luck. Bug bounty programs can sometimes be lucrative for people. They think that they've got a pretty secure system, though. I really don't want to be the victim of that, though. Man. Okay, let's keep moving. The next article is Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut are pulling onions following an E. coli outbreak. Yum Brands has taken precautionary measures by removing fresh onions from select locations of Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC in response to a recent E. coli outbreak that's impacted the restaurant sector. I almost got grilled onions on something today, and then I remembered, no, I don't think so. Francisco Velasquez over at Quartz or QZ.com put the article together. Yeah, McDonald's has suggested the deck statement for this article is that McDonald's has suggested the E. coli outbreak may be linked to raw onions used on its quarter pounders. And I love onions, but man, just the idea of not knowing where the onions are from and not necessarily trusting that the place that I'm buying from is aware. Yeah, I don't know how keyed in every place is, you know. It's pretty big to hear, though, that McDonald's got hit by E. coli. So I'm sure everybody knows. But I just told somebody about this, and they were like, what? So Yum Brands is not alone in this crisis. McDonald's has suggested that E. coli outbreak may be linked to the raw onions used on its quarter pounders. So far, the outbreak has resulted in 49 reported cases across 10 states, numerous hospitalizations, and 1 death. It has led to 1 lawsuit. Moreover, it's prompted McDonald's to yank the quarter pounder from the 20% of more than 14,000 U.S. locations. Food distributors like U.S. Foods and Cisco Corp have raised concerns regarding the use of the affected onions. Additionally, Taylor Farms, one of McDonald's suppliers, has issued a recall of its yellow onions, despite not detecting E. coli. McDonald's probably said, yeah, okay, just do it, we'll pay you. Or they did it because McDonald's is such a huge cash cow. Or cash onion. Man, it's a lot of onions. Anyway, on Wall Street, financial firm Baird has downgraded McDonald's stock rating, citing a slump in sales tied to the E. coli outbreak. The burger giant is set to report earnings on October 29th. So bad timing, 5 days away. Oof. All right, let's keep going. The last article for today's Time Machine episode is in the Marble Channel. An astonishing trove of coins dating to the Norman Conquest just became the most valuable treasure ever found in Britain, so-called Chew Valley Hoard. And there's valuations that are necessary for there's a cache. I can't remember. There's different categories, but one of them is hoard. Anyway, the so-called Chew Valley hoard just sold for a record $5.6 million, including 2,584 coins featuring the likenesses of Harold II, William the Conqueror, and Edward the Confessor. Sonia Anderson over at Smithsonian Magazine or smithsonianmag.com put the article together. That's apparently what it looks like. A group of metal detectorists discovered the hoard of coins in southern England in 2019. What I love about this is that it seems like you could be a metal detectorist and have great opportunity in England, just all throughout the British Empire of the yesteryear, right? So look where the British Empire was, and then grab your metal detector and walk around, and there's a really good chance you're either going to find something Roman or you're going to find something gold, well, treasure like this, buried somewhere. It's just fascinating. You could just dig 2 inches and you're going to hit something. So it says it's fantastic, unbelievable. Adam Staples, one of the metal detectorists who unearthed the coins in the Chew Valley area, tells the Guardian's Stephen Morris, quote, "It has definitely changed my life. It was like holding history in your hand, and obviously the financial side of it is brilliant as well," which Harry Potter made hearing brilliant for Americans something a little more interesting. I think it's just so British to say it's brilliant. So yeah, half of the so-called Chew Valley hoard's price will be divided between Staples and his fellow detectorists, landing each of them nearly $400,000, while the other half, $2.8 million, goes to the unnamed owner of the land on which the coins were found. So imagine you just happen to bumble fart your way into owning some land, and this is the reward you get years and years later, of course, and without any of your real effort. All you did was, like I said, bumble fart your way into owning land. That's how I feel about so much of this stuff, where it's been passed down generation after generation and stuff like that. And just because you have the dumb luck of being born to someone, you suddenly become a multi-millionaire, or in the terms of, I don't know, a couple of people that are in the press quite a bit, born to, I don't know, predatory practices of the yesteryear, of a bygone age, where even I sit there and say, I can't, well, I can. Who am I kidding? In certain cases, it's frickin' wrong. You really do. Anyway, skeevy little bastards. Anyway, quote, "We know the people of Exeter rebelled against William in 1068, and that Harold's sons, who were in exile in Ireland, came back and started mounting attacks along the River Avon down into Somerset." Amal Crichet, curator of archaeology at the Southwest Heritage Trust, tells the Associated Press, Jill Lawless. So it's probably against that background they were hidden, these 2,000 plus coins. On that lucky day in 2019, the first coin detectorist unearthed, the first coin that the detectorists unearthed featured William's likeness. That one coin alone was a find of the year sort of discovery, adds Staples, who runs an auction house specializing in ancient coins. They quickly found another, and then soon realized that they stumbled upon a large trove. And after the detectorists had filled a bucket in Staples' coat with similar coins, they celebrated at a local pub while keeping watch over the car where the discovery was stored, per The Guardian. Soon after, they brought the collection to the British Museum. Interesting. I figured that my understanding is you're supposed to leave it in the ground and go and report it. But I suppose if it was exposed to the four winds, that it would have been dangerous to leave it sitting there in situ. But there's a lot of archaeological knowledge that could be lost because you just dig it up with, your garden shovel. So we're thrilled to have supported the Museum of Somerset to acquire this remarkable addition to their collection for local people and visitors to enjoy now and into the future. Dun, dun, dun. The Chew Valley Hoard, one of the most significant finds from the Norman conquest. Pretty cool. So we're going to dig in and throw a shovel full of knowledge over our shoulder, and that's going to snap us back to the front page of ohmTown.com, where I, Mayor Watt, say, go over, become a citizen, and you'll be able to hide articles and save articles and go all about that kind of stuff on your own from the front page, and you can go into individual menu options that are shows that I want to bring to Twitch and YouTube and as a podcast. And we have 6 weekly shows. Non-Sequitur News is the only daily. And if you want to host or co-host, then get in touch with Mayor at ohmTown.com. Thanks for watching, and we're out of here. So see you soon. I'm going to shut down. We're going to reboot, and we'll be back. So be sure to follow us on Twitch and or YouTube. Download the podcast. It's up to date up to yesterday. So that would be the 23rd. Today is the 24th. Once I get out of the time machine, it'll be the 25th, because this is the time machine episode. Okay, we're out. Bye-bye.